I are here. I guess almost noon for East Coast, but bright and early for West Coast.
Yeah.
So we wanted to go on live real quick just to talk about the VA webinar that Christina made. It's amazing.
Yeah. So,
Tell us.
yeah. So hiring a VA for print on demand can be kind of scary. Especially if you've never done this before, and you're not sure where to start, what you even need to know. And I was in that same boat. And fortunately, I have an HR background, so I at least knew how to hire people in general and how to interview and screen and things like that. But I had to learn how to do all this in the virtual world as well. And I made mistakes along the way. And that is the benefit of you having a webinar now, is that, all of the challenges and mistakes and different things that I encountered over the past, gosh, I'd say it's been 18 months, almost going on 2 years in June, but I didn't start working with VAs, I think, until I was like 3 or 4 months in. And so, I've really detailed it out, especially for beginners, to give them the best method for approaching this whole subject, basically. So.
Yeah. And let's back up and say, we get asked questions all the time about hiring VAs. And I was so grateful that Christina wanted to do this, because I didn't feel like I could really come up with any. I mean, I would give my best answers I could when people asked me about training VAs, but then, I don't know, I just didn't feel qualified to really do a whole course on it. But Christina's had more experience, and she helped with D4D's VAs and all of that, and the HR background, and you've done so many different things. So you're very good at putting it all together into actionable steps and very clearly explained. So that's sort of the process behind why we did it, because of the amount of questions and how much it can help people. Because if you're trying to do everything by yourself, you're limiting yourself. So it is nice to be able to start to hire people and hire some VAs and things like that.
Yep. And as Helen said, I kind of talk through all of the approaches to outsourcing in general. So at the beginning of the webinar, I have you take a look at the way you do your business. I have you do what's called a task analysis. So you basically, and I've provided an example for you from my print on demand business. And then I give you instructions on how to do that for your own. And as you go through your task analysis, then you can decide what are the priorities for you. And I kind of help you understand how to prioritize.
This is the kind of way Christina talks. Things like task analysis. And you're like, what in the world? She's comes from a background of corporate
and business. And yes. So,
she knows all this stuff.
It's the only way I know how to be an entrepreneur. I'd never done anything like this on my own. I've always done this stuff for big business, but it's all applicable. And it's just things that people like you and me need to know to be able to run a print on demand business like an actual business and think of it like a business. So
yeah. And I have her PDF right here that it shows the breakdown of the whole thing. First of all, there's many different sections. So it's not just one big long webinar, it's 8 separate videos. So one of them is about prioritizing and task analysis, which we were just talking about. One of them is about outsourcing options. So is it full, partial, tools, things like that. And then one section is methods of locating virtual assistants and freelancers. Next section is identifying specific needs for job posting and screening. Then you have researching rates, writing a job post and searching for candidates. And then process for interviewing and screening candidates. And then overview of management of virtual assistants and freelancers. plus a whole bunch of additional resources as well. So it's pretty thorough.
Yeah, it's almost 2.5 hours of content, and that's why I ended up breaking it up into sections. So you do get the 8 videos, like Helen said, but then I've also combined them into one as well. So if that's your preference, if you want to just sit through the whole thing, 2.5 hours, knock it out, you've got that option too. So, but I know a lot of people will probably piecemeal it. So they'll say, okay, I've got time for intro and section 1 today, and that's it. And this will also allow you to, go through all of the modules once, and then inevitably, once you actually get into the process and start doing it, you're going to want to go back, and this will easily let you go back to just the sections that you want to go back to review those. You won't have to scan through 2.5 hours of video to figure out, okay, where was that at? So
that's why I was so happy you broke it down like that. Because again, like all of it, every time Christina does something, it's like way above and beyond like what everyone thinks it's going to be. So when I was thinking VA webinar, I was thinking like, okay, like an hour long thing where you kind of like walk through the steps. And then no, it's 2.5 hours broken down into 8 separate videos that are very clear, actionable things. So it's really good.
Well, great. I'm glad. Like I said, it's one of those things that I know that from what I can tell, there's no other training in the print on demand industry for this yet. I've seen like blog posts here and there and different things like that. Maybe like someone gives a handout or something, like a 1-page, like here's the overall process. But if you're a visual learner and you really need to see the steps and you've never done anything like this, then this is for you. So
yeah, this is like professional training. I mean, it's so funny. I say it all the time, but for anyone who hasn't heard, Christina used to be head of HR, like in a corporate environment. She was in charge of training. So she's used to building training classes that you would take, like, if you've ever had training at a job, you know what we're talking about, like this very set training. And I think most of us in the print on demand world are more like me, where it's just like, okay, let's just quickly explain how to do something. But we don't have, or at least I guess I should only speak for myself. Like I don't have any training for creating a course or creating all this stuff. So it's really nice to see like how to do something, but put into an actual real training.
Yeah. Yeah. And, to add to what Helen said, I used to develop training programs for Honda of America, and we would send trainers that I taught. So I would help develop the programs, develop the training. I would teach the trainers, and then we would go out and train all of the Honda suppliers across North America. And even Central America. I had some trainers that would go to Mexico as well. So I have to kind of keep that in mind. And I did pull like a tiny little piece of that like into the training because I couldn't think of any other way to explain it. But it's called the 5 Why and 2 H process, and it's a problem solving process. And I used to basically have entire classes on just that alone. So I was pretty proud that I was able to narrow that down just to one slide. So
I was so impressed. Just I went through, I haven't even completely finished it, but I went through most of it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like some of this stuff is stuff I remember from college, like certain things and certain stuff. And I'm like, wow, she's really like bringing all of this into print on demand. So this is really like taking it to the next level. Like, how do you really run this like a business? And just seeing like the level of what I mean, I said it yesterday on the show, like what I thought of as a webinar and then what Christina thought of a webinar is so different. Like she's on a different level of how to convey information and how to really explain something properly.
That's so funny. And we really had no idea that we were on different wavelengths there until like the fall. And then we realized, she had one definition of a webinar and I had a different one. So we know now. We know what each other's definition
I've raised my standard. Like basically we wanted to give like added bonuses for people that were signing up for the Etsy challenge. And I'm like, oh, we should just do some webinars, like that'll be a good bonus. And I'm thinking like we go live and just for this group and do like a training on something. I didn't think it would be like that big of a deal. With her, it's like she's got all these like slides and all this stuff, and it's just like weeks in preparation for it. And I'm like, oh, I thought we were just gonna go live and explain how to do it. So she really does a great job.
Good. I'm glad that you like it. So, because I was getting worried. I mean, it was one that I worked on for a long time, and I kind of explained that in the webinar. The reason it took so long is because literally right at the time that we offered this to the Etsy challenge people, I started having some issues with my VAs, and I was like, I can't teach this right now. I got to figure out how I would avoid this before I tell someone else how to do this. So it took a little while of me kind of trying different processes and retrying different things and figuring out, okay, here's how I should have done it. So again, I save you the time and the hassle and the headaches that I had. So
I mean, first of all, if someone has to wait until they have perfect VAs or perfect employees before they teach something, oh my God, I never would have been able to. I was a manager at Macy's and 23 employees. It's like, it's never perfect. You never have like 23 perfect employees who show up on time and everything's going smoothly. Like, there's always something crazy happening.
There is. And so you get the webinar, and right now we're offering it until Friday. We're doing kind of like an introductory rate of $59. After that, we're probably going to price it at $149, and that's even. I did some research just on general like webinars for how to hire VAs, and they were like around $300, $400, $500. They weren't specific to print on demand, so we want to keep the price down as much as we can, but we want you guys to learn this process and see if it's right for you. And if it's not right now, then it might be right in the future. So
perfect.
Yeah.
Well, just let us know, guys. Thank you guys all for watching. Do you have any questions, anything that we could answer for you?
Yeah.
We can't be on too long because we're about to go live in the Mastermind group. And for those of you in the Mastermind group, you actually are getting this for free. So that's one benefit to being in that group.
Yep. So if you become a subscriber of the Mastermind group, then we'll also throw that in for free as well. So just to kind of bring you up to date, if you don't know anything about the Mastermind group, we've been running that since maybe October, November timeframe. And it's kind of a group of people who are serious about print on demand, who want to learn how to grow their business. And we do a weekly live. There's a different topic each week. We also add tons of tutorials and just all sorts of great content. So, and this year we've got a series of webinars planned, and the Mastermind group will always receive those for free. Anyone who's not in the Mastermind, of course, will pay for those webinars. So just another little great bonus. So
absolutely. Yep. And we got some of the people from the Mastermind in the chat right now. We got Paul and Dwayne. Thank you guys for being here.
Jacqueline, I think she was here.
Oh, Jacqueline. Perfect.
Yeah.
So,
and I don't know if we said this, but you also get a PDF of all of the slides that I cover during the videos. So it's a PowerPoint presentation with lots of screenshots and lots of how-tos and all of those things. And you get a PDF of that, so you can print that out and you can make notes as you watch the class. So I know a lot of people really liked that about the last webinar that we did. They loved that they could print it out, make their own notes. So
absolutely. Yeah. It's so exciting. You guys have to let us know when you take this, like how it goes with your first hire. And I'm so excited to see how everyone does.
Yes. And that's, I'd say one of the most common questions that we get is, how do I know what to pay a VA or a
Yeah.
designer or an illustrator? And I cover that in the class. So
Yep.
I'll show you how to research that information, how to find, exactly what other people are paying for that similar type of service, so that you don't end up paying too much.
Thanks, Jacqueline. She says she loves the PDF sheets to follow.
Nice.
And then Lance is saying, what's the cost of the mastermind group? $29.99 or $95? Which one is it?
I don't know. One of the other.
I think I said $29.99, but then on the website I think it's $29.95. So one of those, $29.95, I think.
Yeah.
If you just go to our website, merchmoney.com, you can sign up for the mastermind there. And you can sign up for this class there, whichever you prefer.
Yep.
Hey, Sheila. We're going to be seeing you in like 10 minutes. Going live in the mastermind group.
Yep.
Oh, Sheila says she started listening to it, hasn't finished it yet. Yeah, same with me. I've listened to some of the sections, but not all of them yet. But it's, of course, just how I expected, like perfect.
Yeah.
So.
All right. Well, I guess how did I miss this? Lance, you were away for a while, so you're just
you took a little POD vacation, and now you're back. So
yeah.
And don't worry, it's okay if you sign up now. All the posts and everything is still listed, so it won't be like you missed anything. And you can click on topics. We have things by topic. See if there's a specific topic you're most interested in, you can click on that and see all of the posts and resources that we've posted about that topic.
Yeah.
And the mastermind is going to be focusing primarily on KDP starting March 1st. So from March until the end of April, we're going to be going step by step through KDP, have lots of videos and a webinar based on KDP.
Yeah.
So, well, great.
Yeah,
yes, I was, and now I'm back. Welcome back. We're so happy you're back.
Yep. It's good to see you again. Any other questions before we go?
Just comment below. I know this is super short, so just comment below if you have any questions. You could always message us. But we would love to have you join the mastermind group too if you're interested in that, because things like this you'll be getting just for free. And it's nice to have other people in the group to talk to about the webinar. So you're not just watching it by yourself. You have like everyone to collaborate with. And as you're going through the webinar class and hiring a VA, you'll have people in the group to be like, I ran into this problem, or I ran into this, like, how do I fix it? What should I do? So it's kind of nice to kind of go through everything together.
Yes.
Well, perfect. Well, I think that's it. Anything else, Christina?
No, I think that's it.
All right. Well, guys, we'll see you over in the mastermind in 7 minutes. Bye, guys.
Bye.